We are deeply concerned about the situation in the north right now. We believe this to be a crisis that was unnecessary. The action taken on Friday this was a crisis that from our perspective was unnecessary. The operation that took place on Friday to obtain access to municipal buildings through forcible means was not coordinated with the United States. When we became aware of it, we advised strongly against it because we anticipated consequences that we are now seeing. We believe it has been it's had negative reputational impact for Kosovo. It has set back our efforts to advance the normalization relations between Kosovo and Serbia. And as Secretary Blinken said in his statement, and as we said in our statement from the State Department, it's affecting our bilateral relationship. The first indication of that was the decision that was taken last night by the commander of the U.S. European Command, General Cavoli, to cancel Kosovo's participation in Defender Europe 23, which happened overnight. And as you will note, there were no activities related to Defender Europe 23 today, and there won't be anymore for Kosovo. That exercise is over. We're thinking through other implications as well. I have to say that at this moment of time, we have asked Prime Minister Kurti very directly to take immediate steps to achieve a de-escalation in the north. He has not been responsive to those requests. So we are considering what our other actions will be. I would have to say that at this moment in time, you won't find a lot of enthusiasm on the part of the United States to respond to some of Kosovo's other interests, such as engaging with non-recognizers or working actively to advance Kosovo's European or Euro-Atlantic trajectory. We think this is a really urgent situation. A comparison I was making is it's like having a house on fire. You need to put out the fire. So I don't think you're going to see an awful lot of patience on the part of the United States with regard to our expectations that the government take action now to de-escalate the situation in the north. And let me be clear, there's two things we're asking the government to do to de-escalate. I'm happy to be specific. We believe it is we believe the government should not insist that the mayors work from the municipal buildings. The government was able to identify alternative locations for them to take their oaths. We cannot understand why it cannot use those same alternative locations or other public buildings for them to carry out their functions, which are administrative functions. We are on the record that these mayors have an important role to play with regard to administration, but this is not a normal arrangement, and they do not have a strong mandate from their electorate to do large initiatives. So we don't understand why there's an insistence on them working from municipal buildings. And then we believe that the presence of the Kosovo police, which was obtained through force, is incredibly challenging. And so we have asked the government to withdraw the Kosovo police from the 3 municipal buildings. We think that would de-escalate. But it's never a good sign when neighboring countries that have a tense relationship mobilize their forces. But I would say at this moment in time, what we're concerned about are the actions taken by the government of Kosovo that have created this crisis atmosphere in the north, and that's what we're asking to be addressed. So I don't know if it's appropriate for me to talk about the dynamics within the institutions of the government of Kosovo. What I would note is that President Osmani has emphasized consistently the importance that she attaches to full and close coordination and cooperation with the international community, with particular focus on the United States. I believe that to be something she takes very seriously. We are deeply distraught and concerned by the actions that took place that resulted in the wounding, in some cases serious wounding of these soldiers. I condemned it yesterday, as did all my colleagues, I believe. But that does not negate the fact that the reason the soldiers were there, needing to keep the peace in that scenario, was because of the decision taken by Prime Minister Kurti to seek to obtain access to these 3 municipal buildings through forcible means. And that's the thing that needs to be addressed with regard to a de-escalation, which is what we are asking take place.